Hi, my name is Chris Burns, and today in this short video I'll tell you a life-changing story about how I figured out how to easily create an automated supply of the freshest, high-quality clean water you've ever tasted for pennies on the dollar. I'm talking about a simple invention that can be used by any family around the world to make safe, clean, and cool drinking water out of thin air, even in the desert. Over the past year, over 11,000 people have also already successfully used the very same technique to get over tragic milestones such as hurricanes, snowstorms, or floods, based on technology that's already in use by the military from countries including Israel, India, the UK, and the US. Not only can it give up to 60 gallons of water per day to last through the centuries-long drought NASA is predicting is right around the corner, but it can ameliorate your utility bills all year long. I'm sure you're already intrigued and you want to know all about how this system works. Honestly, it's like nothing you've ever seen. And in a few minutes from now, you'll be outraged you put your family's life in the hands of FEMA, the government, and the greedy water corporations that make the cards these days. So you absolutely need to watch this short presentation today while it's still up. I don't know how much longer I'll have this free presentation online, so watch this right now while you still can. Before we continue, let me tell you who I am and how it all started. As I mentioned before, my name is Chris Burns. I'm a 57-year-old farmer, and I live near Fresno City with my wife and 2 daughters. Folks who live here know that water shortages due to droughts in the area are somehow of an issue, and we've been fighting them for years. And we've never liked how our officials are handling the situation by introducing laws that force us to cut our usage or by raising the prices for something everybody should afford, like having a clean, non-disturbed water supply without restriction. However, we simply settled, thinking that's the economy, or maybe it'll be better next year, month after month, struggling not to fall behind on bills. All that until the spring of 2014, May 16th, Wednesday, the absolute worst day of my life. We were entering our 3rd year of drought, a recurring nightmare for those old enough to remember the prolonged dry period of 1987 and 1991, and the disaster of 1976 and 77, the previous record-setting drought. But this time, it was different. Without help from the heavens, 2014 will be the last year before my family will begin to go bankrupt. Due to the severe drought, I was forced to leave hundreds of acres unplanted because there is simply no water for my crops. Moreover, the State Water Project announced for the first time in its 54-year history that it would deliver no water, and we would have to get by with water from other sources, such as the Colorado River, groundwater, and the little left in their reservoirs. And I was expecting zero allocation from the federal Central Valley Project, which delivers waters to farmers through 500 miles of canals. However, I thought I was prepared. Solar electricity, solar hot water, and we even had our own well. Big mistake. 3 years ago, our well totally dried out. I didn't really panic because I still had a 600-gallon water stockpile that I'd saved as an emergency reserve to last enough for my family while we dug a new well. A few nights after I submitted our permit application for our new well, I heard some noises coming from my backyard. I took my gun and hurried outside to see what happened. And what I saw made me freeze in my tracks. There were some men loading our water stockpile into their truck. They weren't looking to break into our house or searching for valuable stuff like gold, money, and electronics. They just wanted our water supply. And I was ready to shoot right then and there. Yet before I could even aim my gun, I felt the cold barrel of a rifle pressed upon the back of my head. There was nothing I could do. You can't imagine how I felt, not being able to protect my family. And then the next morning, when my little Joan came to me and said, "Daddy, I'm thirsty," I immediately burst into tears. It was the most devastating moment of my life. I felt like my world collapsed. I felt powerless because there was nothing I could do to protect the ones I cared for most. It was the moment I realized I was at the end of my rope. I swore to myself I'd never put my wife and 2 daughters in a similar situation again. I don't want to sound preachy about it, but ask yourself, what happens if the drought continues? What are we going to turn into? Are there going to be killings over a sip of water? Humanity is already on the verge of dehumanization due to hard times that continue to weaken all of us.